chapter 11. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Now, Paul, he suffered a lot. You're about to figure out, we're going to find out, we want to read all that he has suffered. And in hearing this, I want you to think about it. 2 Corinthians 11, verse 23 to 27. It says this: Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more in labors, more abundant, in stripes above measures, in prisons more frequently, in deaths often. Paul says, I've been in labors more abundant. I had a lot of labors, and he kept saying, would you stay with me? I had more stripes above measure, and he said, would you stay with me? I had frequent imprisonments, and he said to me, will you stay with me? I have frequent and more often deaths. He said, will you stay with me, Paul? Even though you've been locked up for me, even though you've been beaten for me, even though you labor day and night, would you stay with me, Paul? Even though you die twice, would you still stay with me? From the Jews, 5 times I received 40 stripes minus 1. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. At night and a day I had been in the deep, in journeys often, in perils of the wars, in perils of the robbers, in perils of my own countrymen, in perils of the Gentiles, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren, in witnessing and weariness and toil, and sleeplessness often, and hunger and thirst, and fasting often, and cold and nakedness. Here he says last, besides the other things, what comes upon me daily? He said, besides all that, just think about my daily punishment, my daily trials I go through. My deep concern about all the churches. Paul said, I worry about the churches and I'm concerned about them. Think about that. Paul says, I was beaten with rods and stoned and shipwrecked night and day. I had been in the deep. I was in the waters. People robbed me. My own countrymen turned on me. The Gentiles wanted to kill me. And God said to them, would you stay with me even though you want to leave? Had that been us, had that been me, I probably would say, I can't do this anymore, God. But Paul knew if I continue, that my reward is great. Paul says, I'm not looking for the word on earth, for it will perish soon. But I'm looking for that eternal crown. I'm looking for that which is forever. The same God told Paul that Acts 18 says, be not afraid. Be not afraid, but speak. And Paul speaks to Corinthians. He speaks to them about his pain and suffering. Many of you have suffered heartbreaks. You have suffered abandonment from friends and family and parents. You suffer being an outcast, being talked about, being ran over, being taken for a fool. You labor day in and day out with no results. You almost was killed multiple times. You've been in prison multiple times. You've been shipwrecking in life. You've been stoned with words. What's good about our country, America, is that we have laws to protect us from freedom of religion. For those in the Middle East, whom if you preach about Christ, death is imminent. There is no law to protect you. All that Paul went through, God kept saying to him, will you stay with me, even though you desire to leave? And God says, he says, Paul, he says, I know the book is not moving at your pace. I know that this ministry is starting off slow. I know that no one's recognizing your gifts. No one's recognizing the talent that I've given you and your skills and your messages. No one's commenting on you. No one's talking about you. No one's giving you a chance. He said, but if you just stay with me a little while longer, Paul, a little while longer, then I will bring you out at the end. He says, hold on. It says, hold on, change is coming. The song goes. Sound of Blackness says, sings it. Hold on, it's coming. He says, Paul, it's hold on. I know you keep talking and seeing what I'm giving you. See, God gives you a taste of that which is to come. He says, I'm just giving you a taste because I want you to stay with me. And what Paul suffered in 2 Corinthians, it's tough. He stayed anyway. He said, I was hungry and I was thirsty. I fast often in the cold and nakedness. Snakes biting my arm. Girls following me. A girl was following him, mocking and blaspheming him. And Paul he had to confront Peter. He had to do all types of sort of things for arguing about the circumcision. He was pulled out. He's praying in the temple of his God, and they pulled him out and stoned him and arrested him. And Paul said, yet that he slayed me, yet will I trust him. He kept on going on. He says, I will count it all joy. I will count it all joy. Even though I want to go, I'm going to count my suffering. I'm going to count my pain. I'm going to count it all joy. And Paul knew that it profited him nothing if he left. But if he stayed, he will profit a lot. Paul said to the church, he said, I really want to leave. I want God to take my life from me. I want to go home. But he said, I must stay with you. For me to die is gain for self. And he knew to suffer for Christ was great. Some of you are suffering. I can feel your pain. It's like a gardener who plants, and it doesn't see a sign of his fruit growing. It was just, he don't see sign of his fruit growing. No, but as time go on, signs will begin to show. Even though he want to stop watering it, stop pitting it, stop allowing, stop praying for sun rays, the sun to come out, he's keep pressing forward. I was looking at a picture on Facebook. It was showing these two rabbits, and I guess both of the rabbits planted a seed of a carrot in the ground, and one rabbit, all he had to show in the ground was you have to see a carrot, it's the green leaf of the carrot. And then with the other rabbit, he had, I believe, he had a bigger leaf than the other rabbit. And the rabbit began to mock him, laughing at him. But then the picture showed you what's happening underground. Is that the rabbit with the little stem, his carrot was huge and humongous, but the one with the big stem, his carrot was small. That rabbit kept on going on. But the other rabbit, when he saw that the stem was growing bigger and bigger, he stopped. But the other rabbit, he kept going on. He kept going on. God saying, would you stay with me? Even though you're sick in your body. Even though your husband and your wife left you, even though your boyfriend and your girlfriend broke your heart and took your kids from you, even though you lost your job, even though I told you to do this and do that, would you still stay with me when things go south? I understand that it's hurting you to stay. I understand that it's tough for you to stay. And then that chapter 2 Corinthians, chapter 12, verse 7 through 12.